Hello world, welcome to edupediaworld.com. In this video, we will have a look at some facts about an application software known as Microsoft Word. So let's have an introduction of Microsoft Word first. It is a graphical word processing program that users easily can type with. So anyone can use it. It is a component of Microsoft Office suite of productivity software, but it can also be purchased as a stand-alone product. It was initially launched in 1983 and has since been revised numerous times. The most recent one in use now is Microsoft Word 2013. It is the application software which is available on both Windows as well as Macintosh operating systems. So its purpose is to allow the users to type and save the documents. Being a user-friendly application software, it offers several features to ease down the document creation, editing. So let's have a look at some of the features now. The first and foremost is what you see is what you get displayed. That is, it ensures that everything you see on screen will appear the same way when printed or moved to another format or program. Then there comes a spell check feature, which is a built-in dictionary for the spelling checking. All the misspelled words are marked with a red squiggly underline, so that the users when typing the document can come to know that okay, we have made an error, this is a misspelled word. So most of the time the word autocorrects an obviously misspelled word or phrase. Then comes the text level features, which include bold, underline, italic, strike through. Then comes the page level features such as indentation, paragraphing and justification of the text. So all these features are just to make the text more readable, more beautiful in a very easier manner. Then in an external support, the Word is compatible with many other programs, the most common being the other members of the Office suite. Then we can insert the pictures, web pages, graphs, tables, etc. in our Microsoft Word document. Then in the print options, we have a lot of options like landscape, portrait, different types of options to have a printout of the type document. And the one more obvious facility available to us is the preview option, so that we can have a preview first of what we are going to have in our printout, then we can go for the printout. Then comes the word art option, which enables drawing text in the document with graphical effects such as shadow, glow, reflect, 3D effects. The example image created with word art is you can see from this pictorial representation. The words, the sentences are written in a very graphical manner, in a very stylish manner. Then comes the macros. It is a rule of pattern that specifies how a certain input sequence should be mapped to an output sequence according to the defined process. Frequently used or repetitive sequences of keystrokes as well as mouse movements can be automated. This extensive functionality can also be used to run and propagate viruses as well in the documents. So it is the feature which was not that much appreciated in the Microsoft Word, although the risk of viruses, of the propagation of the viruses, is much more reduced in the latest versions of Microsoft Word now. Then comes the bullets and numbering features, which allows us auto numbering system that helps us to add the correct numbers to the pages, to the chapters, to the headers, footnotes and entries of tables or contents. So it is the Word's responsibility to add the page numbers, the chapter numbers for us. They can also be applied directly to the paragraphs and convert them to the list. So now you can come to know that how much our work is easier now with the help of this application software. Then comes the password protection, just to save our documents if we are making some very sensitive documents which we want to protect so that no other person can use them, even view them. For it we have the feature password protection. There are 3 password types that can be set in the Microsoft Word, which includes password to open a document, then comes password to modify a document, and then finally comes password restricting, formatting and editing. That is, if the password is applied, restricted, formatting and editing, so no one can ever be able to open the document without the password. So then comes the speech recognition. It also known as a voice recognition, and it is the process of converting spoken words into the computer text. That is, the user speaks into a microphone and the computer is there responsible for creating a text file of the words that have been spoken by the user. And then the default file format for Microsoft Word is .docx, that is DOCX, document X. Okay, now let's have a look at the opening screen for Microsoft Word 2007. Here from now we will review the screenshots on how to navigate some of the basic menus. As you can see, here comes the basic menu. It also is known as the blue ribbon of the Microsoft Word. As you can see, all the text is written on the blue icon. So that is why they also as known as the blue ribbon or menu of Microsoft Word. So now we will see what features are available here and how can we utilize them from this menu or the blue ribbon of Microsoft Word. First of all is the formatting font option. So this screenshot displays the menu path to change the font. As you can see, the arrows are there showing you a font, different font styles, sizes. As number 12 is the font size times New Roman is the name of the font type. We have several types available here which can be visible to us through this drop down arrow on the blue ribbon. And all this formatting is available here on the Home tab. By selecting the Home tab, we have this window. Then comes the font styles options, which includes bold, italic, underline. ABC having a line on it is simply the strike through feature. Then comes the subscript, then comes the superscript. The capital A here at the top stands for the capital letters, then the small is for the small letters. So this is how we have numerous font options through which we can format our typing. Here is an example for the font formatting font options. Like you can see, the text is written here. Again, all these formatting font options are available from the Home ribbon tab. So now you can see that this text is not centered. When we select a text and press the center button, this text is centered now, like it comes at the center of the document now. So this is how we can format our text. So now another important feature, which is the formatting of spacing. So as you can see, again under the Home tab blue ribbon, we can have an option for paragraphing indentation. First of all, what is an indentation? It simply is a space, or you can say a tab of characters added at the beginning of one or more consecutive lines to make them stand out or to make them more readable. By default, spacing option, or by default and standard spacing format is double spacing, that is this 2.0 is by default selection, but we can change it according to our demand or requirement. So here you can see the indents and spacing available under the paragraph option. We can change the alignments, we can change the indentation, and you can see the preview is available here as well. So when making the changes, we do not have to cross this paragraph option and come back to our text to see what change would be there. In fact, it is available in front of us. As we are making the changes, we can have a look at this preview that okay, how with these changes our document will look like. And if we see that okay, that preview is okay, we have make all the changes accordingly, then by selecting the OK button, all these changes will be applied to our text document. So one important option here available for indentation is the hanging option, which simply is the option to make our document more readable or more stand out than the rest of the text. So now another important option available in the formatting section is page headers and footers. They simply are the lines which will come throughout our document. For example, if we are typing a chapter, if we are typing a research paper, by setting the header and footer just once, we will have them in throughout our documentation. And the header and footer option we will have by clicking on the insert tab, which is available to us from that blue menu ribbon. So by clicking on the insert tab, we will have the option for having headers and footers. Now if you have a look at this header, you can see that APA writing style, which simply stands for American Psychological Association's writing style, as it is the most commonly used style, or you can say the most authenticated style available for citation. So now comes the page layout formatting option, which is available to us in the Microsoft Word. What is a page layout? It simply is the term used to describe how each page of your document will appear when it is printed. So page layout includes the features like you can set the margins of your pages, you can set the number of columns, how headers and footers will appear, etc. So all these things you will select in the page layout option, which again is, you can see, is available on the blue ribbon beside your home and insert tabs. This page layout tab is there, and from this page layout you can go to your page setup, where you can set the margins for your pages, the orientation for your pages, again the edges there. You have a preview available here as well. So as long as you are making the settings, you can instantly have a preview that how these settings will look like to your original document. So now let's have a look at some more options beside these margins and orientations. Some important options related to the page layout formatting is by setting columns, setting section breaks. So now we will have some brief look at how these options will be applied to our document. So here now you can see from this pictorial representation, the first one is here the section is formatted as a single column, and in number 2 you can see that the section formatted as 2 columns now. So simply by selecting the column option from the page layout, you can have your text break down into the columns selected by you, either 2, 3 or as much you wish. Now let's have a look at some of the types of the section breaks. Here the first one is your next page command, which inserts a section break and starts the new section on the next page. This option is useful whenever you are making the new chapters for your documentation. Another pictorial representation is showing you the continuous section break, which simply starts the new section but on the same page, and then the other section break command is your even page or odd page command. It simply, as the name is showing, this command also inserts a section break, starts the new section, but now with the even or odd numbers, depends as which option did you select. So it is to associate your chapters or documentation with even or odd numbers. So you can do whatever you want to do according to your demand or according to your document's requirements. So now let's have a look at some more options available to us by page layout apart from this margins, orientation, size, columns, breaks, which we just had a look before. We have some again paragraph options as well, where we can set the indentation and spacing, which we had studied in the previous slide. One thing which is more important here to discuss is you can see from this page background feature a watermark feature is there. The watermark simply you can say is the registered mark, which will come at your document at each and every page of your document. So it is just to register your document so that no other person can take it, no other person can make it its own document. If you have set a watermark feature in your document, it will appear throughout your document. Moreover, you can set the page colors, the page borders, just to enhance just to beautify your documentation or to enhance some important features in your documentation. Totally depends on you. All the features are available and are very easy to use. So thank you for watching video on edupediaworld.com.